Today I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up a web server on Amazon EC2. Amazon provides you a free tier that you can use for free for 12 months. After that, they start charging you a fee. So we're going to do a few things today. We're going to set up HTTP server, we're going to set up MySQL, install PHP in it, and also install WordPress. Okay, let's get started. So you can access Amazon EC2 just by going to Google and typing Amazon EC2, and it should be the first result. When you click on it, you can go to sign into the console, and I already have an account. So for you, you should click I'm a new user and register and come back to the video. After you have created your account and you signed in, you're basically going to see the following control panel. And what we want to do is go to EC2, which is a virtual cloud instance we're going to create where we're going to have our server running. So I already have instances running, but you go to instances and click launch instance. Once you do that, click on the free tier, because we want to find an instance that we can create for free. All right, next configure instance details and leave most of that info blank, default, then click next. Same here, click next. We're just gonna tag our instance. Basically, this is how we're gonna identify our server, so you can name it and add any value you want. And then now we're gonna configure some port forwarding. So in order to SSH into our server and to allow people to access it through the web browser, we need to forward some ports. So just follow the instructions along, copy what I'm doing. Okay, now we're just gonna review our instance. Everything looks good. So now you can just launch the instance. And one more step, very important. Now here we're gonna create a new pair key. This is very important for us to be able to SSH into our server. So once you create it, name it any way you want it, download the key, because we're going to be using it to access our server. So put it in some location that you can access easily. So then launch the instance. It might take a few seconds. All right. Now my key is going to be in EC2 PEM folder. Okay. So I'm going to open the terminal. Once I got the terminal going, I'm going to just cd into the directory that has my key, just EC2 PEM. Now, to use this key that we have, mine is alexandertoiter.pem, first we have to change the permission in it. So chmod 600 on it. Okay. Now we also need our instances IP, so we can SSH into it. The way to find your instances IP is just to go back to the control panel and go to EC2. Then you need to go to Elastic IPs. We need to allocate a new IP address for our instance, because right now it doesn't have one. So boom, right here we got the Elastic IP that we just created, and now we need to associate the address. So in the instance, select your instance name. Okay. So now we have the IP. Copy that. Go back to the terminal. Put in type in SSH EC2 dash user at the IP address of your instance dash I and your temp file. Type in yes. Now it says run sudo yum update. Run that. That will update all the packages on our server. And just wait until it finishes. Next, we're gonna install Apache web server. You do that by running yum install httpd. Oh, and you have to be root to do this. So let's do sudo su and now run yum install httpd again, and it's going to install. Just click yes when it asks you. After that, we're going to install PHP -MySQL, and we're going to start the service by writing service httpd start. That's going to start our Apache web server on our Amazon instance. Next, we're going to install MySQL server. So next thing we want to do is create a table for a blog. We do that by writing MySQL admin-root create blog. Looks like I forgot to start the server, MySQL server, and we can start it by writing service MySQL g start. All right, so press OK. It started. Now let's try to create the blog table again. MySQL admin-root create blog. Okay, now that's done. Let's set up a password for our root. So write MySQL _secure _installation. So now we're going to set a root password. You want to make secure, so make sure you use a secure password, and then I just keep pressing yes, yes, and now we got MySQL set up. So next we're gonna go into our web directory, which is gonna be at /var/www/html, and we're gonna download WordPress file manually. We're gonna write wget wordpress.org/latest.tar.gz, and then we're gonna have to unpack files using tar. And as you can see, we have the WordPress directory now, and we removed the latest tar.gz file because we don't need that anymore. And let's go rename our WordPress directory and call it blog. So we use mv command for that. Now let's go into our blog directory, and we're gonna rename one file called wp-config.sample.php. Rename it to wp-config.php. We're also gonna open that file using vim and configure our database name, our username, and password using the credentials we created earlier. So db_name will be blog, db_user will be root, and db_password is the password you entered. Now scroll down all the way in the file where you see all the defines for authentication key and salt, and you'll need to put unique values in here. So one way to do it is by going to api.wordpress.org/secret-key/1.1/salt, and it will generate those keys for you, and you can just copy paste them, or you can write your own, so it doesn't matter if you want to do that. After you insert the defines, just save and quit the file. And the next thing, what we want to do is type in chkconfig space httpd space on, and do the same thing with MySQL d space on. Basically, that will automatically start those services if you restart the instance. And the step after that, we need to do sudo space ch own space dash r capitalized R space Apache colon Apache space /var /ww /html, which basically will change the ownership of those of our HTML server to uh, Apache, meaning so our WordPress is able to modify files on the server when we upload new themes. Then we need to go get our Elastic IP and paste it in the browser. And you should see this Apache test page. That means your HTTP server is up and running. Now let's go back to the console and modify httpd.conf settings. What we need to do is point our main domain when we access it to point to the blog instead of the Apache page. So in find document root and add to the /var /ww /html add /blog, and make sure you overwrite to allow follow symlinks. Okay, next thing, let's restart the server again. Service httpd restart. Then go back to our browser, reload, and here we go. We have our WordPress install page where you put in your site title, username, and password. So just fill that out with your own information. Once you fill it out, click install WordPress and log into the web page with your username and password. That's the WordPress control panel. Let's go to appearances and themes and add a new theme for you. I have a Genesis theme, so I just want to show you how to install a custom theme. Click install now. So next we're gonna go to back to the dashboard, and what we're gonna do is go to the main page. As you can see, there's a hello world sample post, and if you want to set up your domain name, I'm using hover. You need to go log in and change and update the DNS IP with your Elastic IP. So in the IP address in hover control panel for my alexstoyer.com domain name, I'm going to put my IP and save it. And now if I was to go to alexstoyer.com, it would point to my blog and to my, to my Amazon instance. And we can test it by going to dashboard again, or click on edit since you're logged in as root. And let's modify a post. Let's say testing and update. And let's go to preview changes. And as you can see, it's updated. So that's how you set up the Amazon server, your domain name, MySQL, PHP. All of this can be done for free. Enjoy. If you found this tutorial to be helpful, please like it, share it, and leave a comment below. Until next time.